From the 22 News Plus studio, this is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of InFocus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. We're here in the 22 News Plus studios. Across the desk from me, I have members of the Springfield Rescue Mission, Kevin and Saber Ramsdell. They are the executive director and the chief of staff for the Springfield Rescue Mission. They're here today to talk about all the great work they are doing in our community. Thank you both for joining me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us.
So, Kevin, let me start with you. Give me an overview of what the Rescue Mission is and does.
Well, pretty much the Springfield Rescue Mission has been in existence for over 130 years. And what they've done is
You don't look that old.
No, I'm not.
Oh, boy.
But they have been concentrating on men and basically homeless men. And we took on the position there a little over 5 years ago. And we knew Ron Willoughby fairly well and had volunteered there over the years in many different applications. But what primarily we do is we take care of a lot of the homeless needs in the area. So we have public breakfast and public lunch 5 days a week. We have a mobile feeding unit that also goes out and visits them in the different parks throughout the city as well. But they're not just delivering food, different times of the year, different clothing, like we're getting towards winter. So winter hats, winter gloves, boots for those that don't have boots. And also hot soup. We'll deliver a cup of hot soup as well and try and meet the needs. But we also give out toilet articles too, men, women, and children. So although we have a men's only program at our 10 Mill Street location, we also serve men, women, and children through the different food processes that we do. And again, we do have a giveaway center where they can come in and they can get clothing. They have to schedule an appointment to come in because it's a small area and we can't have too many people in there at one time. But anything from baby clothes all the way up to adult sizes. And a lot of times, too, we do get new boots, new shoes, new sneakers, new sweatshirts,
Wow.
Bomba socks. So although it's a lightly used clothing center, we also get new items as well. Bed sheets. My Pillow guy will send us pillows over the course of the year as well. So we have new pillows to use for our in-house rehabilitation center guys and also those that we can give out if there's an overflow of them. But we have a 1-year program at our 10 Mill Street location where anybody that wants to come in and basically take a time off from life for a while and get reacclimated with what it is they feel God's leading them to do. They can come in. We have a whole workforce development program that we've put together, which they can take care of different needs in the Learning Center. We brought on board during COVID the HiSET pretest, which is equivalent to the GED. We also have added a number of other programs within the Learning Center too. They do a financial recovery program because, again, we want to make sure they take care of any back debt and those kind of things. But the way people get started is we took Taylor Street, which is our second building, and we've changed that to a short stay program. So a lot of times folks will come in that just are waiting on housing to open up. They are working and they're just looking for a safe place to sleep and, again, some lodging and some breakfast and dinner in the evening. So during the course of the day, they're out working. And then that changes over a period of time. But also what we've seen last year was we had 8 men that decided they wanted to come into the 1-year program. And again, it's not necessarily a year. It could be longer depending on what they decide they want to do and what help is needed. So it's more of an individual treatment plan now. So some folks come in and they want to go back and finish out a degree that they started on years ago. So we get involved with Mass Hire, make the introductions there, and then Mass Hire will take care of trying to get them the different grants and whatnot to pay for the schooling so they can go back and again, reestablish that degree they started on years ago. Because again, we don't want to just be a handout. We want to be a hand up and make sure that when they leave us, they have a good balance, again, between a spiritual balance and whatnot. Because again, we take care of them physically, spiritually, emotionally, and so on. We want to make sure we're healing the whole person. So when they leave us, they're in a decent job. They also have a church they're plugged into to get the support that they need there as well. And that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. I mean, the best thing I can tell you to do if you really want to see it firsthand, because there's so much I could talk about here, is come down for a tour, because we'd love to give you a tour and let you see and feel exactly what we're doing there.
That's a perfect segue. Saber, on that tour, what can, if I came down or any of our viewers or who are watching came down, what would they experience?
Well, I think they would sort of experience what a person experiences when they come in on intake, because we take them right through the process of, coming in through the front door and going through the intake process, and we show them all that. We show them where the giveaway is, the warehouse, which feeds the giveaway center, and that's the basis for all the stuff that we give out. And then we would take them into the learning center. We would explain the process of going through an individual assessment. We would explain how the learning center operates and the different programs that we have the guys go through to achieve the goals that Kevin is talking about breaking the cycle of poverty, keeping them away from drugs and bad environments, giving them hope in educational models, workforce development. We take anybody who comes in on a tour through all of that process
To give them a really
in-depth look at what we're trying to achieve. And then we bring them upstairs and we show them where all the magic happens administratively. And that's quite it takes about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. And we have not had one person come in there that doesn't leave saying, I had no idea. This is what you do.
Right. The way you both have explained it, I mean, I've known you folks for a couple of years now, but there's way more than I even thought was available. And everything is free, correct?
I think that's because homelessness has changed. 50 years ago, education was not a component. Right. Rehabilitation was not really a component. It was more about feeding people and sheltering them. Now the needs are greater. We see that really the only way they can break out of their background and out of the poverty that has brought them to homelessness is to get the education they need, to get the treatment mentally and physically that they need. So it's different today. It's not the same thing.
All right, we are up on our first commercial break. We're here in the 22 News Plus studios talking to the Ramsdells about the Springfield Rescue Mission. We'll be right back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone. Oops, wrong button there. There we go. All three of us are sitting there. Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of In Focus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. We're here in the 22 News Plus studios talking about the Springfield Rescue Mission. This is the button I wanted to hit. There she is. There's Sauber. Yeah, you popped up first instead of the three of us, but that's okay. Technically error. I know in our past conversations, you had talked about incorporating more support for women. And, and Kevin started off with, the history of it and how it's been mostly helping local men. Mm-hmm. But there is an element, under your guidance to expand to help more women. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, I can tell you that the first year we were there, we did a survey. Kevin drew up a survey asking the women that come in for public breakfast and lunch or come in through the giveaway center, if they could have their wish, would they want another shelter or a program? And across the board, they all said they would want a full program. And I think that's because they recognize that they need help beyond just the, meal and an overnight stay. So we began then thinking about, well, what would that have to look like? And what would we really have to accomplish on the men's side in order to facilitate the same offerings for women? Because I think both of us recognized that we weren't ready. So over the years, we have grown the programming, changed the programming for men to be what it is today. And we feel we have a really good, solid base. And
it's a good foundation
it is a good
to build
foundation.
The women's program.
Correct. Because the programming, although the needs of women are different, The basic programming is the same. Education, skills-based training,
exactly.
mental and physical health, all around emotional well-being. And you have to tackle all of that. You can't just isolatedly tackle one element.
But I have to imagine, even though it's the same for both men and women, men respond differently in those training scenarios differently than women might respond. If you have only male trainers or only female, advisors. So you need to balance that.
Yes, you do.
You need to make
Yes.
sure that women are comfortable going through the programs with the instructors, with the fellow women within it. So even though the foundation is there from the men's side, you need to build off that.
Yes, we do. I think women struggle with a feeling safe issue more so than men would, and they are not necessarily as not sure I can come up with the right term, maybe as territorial.
Okay.
They're not necessarily as competitive. I think men have in some ways, a more competitive nature. And so you have to take all of that into account. But that's more for the counseling side than the programming content. So we've analyzed all of this out and realized that the first step in all of this is to ensure that the women's side would be able to function as the men's is functioning wholly.
Right.
So we created an endowment fund for the rescue mission at large. We have recruited we're doing a renovation project at Mill Street because we're capacity. We can't hold any more men there. So we want to revamp all the dormitory spaces, basically give them a better living space, accommodate more men on the men's side, build some more office space in. That's the first phase. Second phase would entertain taking Taylor Street and revamping that to become our first endeavor into a women's program.
So during your tenure at the Springfield Rescue Mission, have you seen the need for services grow, or have you just, said, okay, we've been focused on men so much, let's shift to women, or have the need for services from both genders grown that you have to accommodate for it?
I'll let Kevin speak to that.
I believe what we've seen is it has grown because we've had to adapt and, again, come up with different things, especially after COVID, because we had a lot of people that were coming in and they were saying they had PTSD and symptoms like that. But really what it was more of a mental health issue. Now, we don't have psychologists on hand or psychiatrists, so we will farm them out to local entities that take care of that for us. In the past, they would have just dismissed them, where now we hang on to them. We just, let them go outside for those type of treatments. And what we've seen is a lot of people turn around. And again, they embrace what we're doing there and understand. But also there's a need, too, with just the evolving things that are going on, like AI, for instance. How do we use and treat AI going forward and use it productively and not use it in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's learning how to adapt some of the things that we're doing there and the trainings that we're doing there to stay competitive with what is actually happening in the real world scenarios. So every day we're looking at different things that come through. I watch a lot of webinars on stuff that's changing and what has changed. And
how do you keep up on it all?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
There's only so much time during the day, but I mean, I'm going in there very early in the morning and stay until about 4 in the afternoon, sometimes till 8 p.m. at night. But again, it's something that we love to do, and we don't look at this as a job. We look at it as a ministry, and that's the difference. And I think everybody that works for us there, it's not really like they're working for us; they're working with us.
Right.
And again,
for the betterment of our community.
Exactly. So everybody is, grace-based and really pouring their hearts into the folks that come in. And as far as women, there are going to be some different needs there that are going to have to be adjusted because, as was already previously said, men have different needs, being the head of the household and whatnot. They need to learn leadership skills. But again, when you take a woman whose husband or whatever is left, and she has a couple of kids or what have you. So her needs are going to be totally different because she's fitting the dual role. She has the kids, so she's being the mom, but she also has to be the dad. So there's different aspects
and the provider.
Exactly. So there is those different things that we need to, again, realize as we're training and as we're adapting, that we need to be cognizant that those are some things we need to pay attention to readjust our thinking. So we don't want to say that we have it all in a nutshell because we don't. And it's experimental. And again, you learn to adjust on the fly with different things as you go forward. But we do realize there is definitely a different need for what women need versus what men need. And I think we, pretty much wrap our head around that, and we move forward. Plus, we have a great team working with us,
Right.
that helps us to, again, we'll put our thoughts out there and then we'll, kind of do a little, tag with it, if you will, and, a SWOT analysis or whatever, what's working, what's not. And again, reevaluate. Once a week we get together and what's working, what's not working. What's not working with this person? What are the holdups? What is the major drawback there? What are they struggling with? Okay, can we come together and figure out how we can help this person to get over that hurdle?
It certainly sounds like you and your entire organization are doing great work. When we come back after this commercial break, we'll talk about how you, the public, can help. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's edition of In Focus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. We're talking about the Springfield Rescue Mission and their ever-growing needs for services in our local community. Across the desk from me today, I have both Kevin and Saber Ramsdale. They are the Executive Director and Chief of Staff of the Springfield Rescue Mission. Thank you both for being with me. I greatly appreciate it. We talked about the growing need. It's, and this isn't just a Springfield problem. This is it's not just a Pioneer Valley problem. This is a problem.
It's a national problem.
Across the country. So the Springfield Rescue Mission, just by the name of it, are you only helping Springfield people or?
Not at all.
No.
Really? So it's people from across the region that need your services. They come and find you.
Well, it's partly folks coming in from Connecticut. We've had people as far away as Arizona,
California.
Really?
So yeah, it's all walks of life, really, when you think about it. We also will trade between other rescue missions. Somebody that needs a geographical change or whatever to get away from whatever's going on there.
They might be living in a bad environment, and a lot of times a change helps.
Yes,
get away from those family, friends, problems that you're experiencing. A new environment helps.
Absolutely.
We have a really in-depth relapse prevention program, and that has been a big draw from out of state people. Just by word of mouth, Patrick, people have come to us that have said, so-and-so recommended out of this area in Connecticut that I talk to you about your relapse prevention program. And they'll come in just to go through that 90-day or longer program. And other agencies locally have.
And I think we're on our fourth person now.
Yeah.
They repeatedly send to us.
That's good.
And other agencies locally have asked us about this particular program because relapse prevention is a key element to treating addiction.
Right. There is some information on your screen right now about the New Life Gala that's coming up October 24th. Tell us about it.
Well, we're very excited. This is our second annual gala. And this year we have a really wonderful lineup of people. But what you'll hear there is the heart of the mission, the why we do what we do. And that will come from 4 of our residents and their families who are going to speak about what the mission has been able to pour into them, what they have learned. All of these men came from heartbreaking situations and, families. One man was telling me the other day that he hadn't spoken to his kids in 7 years.
Wow.
And where you will see a video of those kids saying, "I'm so proud of my dad."
Amen.
And they have reunified. So, recovery is a long process, and we want people to understand that the heart of the mission is to help these individuals get that reunification through all the services that we offer. So they will hear testimonies. They will have great food, wonderful music, really great fellowship, and more. And it is a fundraiser. We are hoping to raise about $400,000 to help our renovation project. I should mention that we have some seed money of $75,000 generously donated by the Shabelli Foundation.
Good.
And John DeCenza, who is the administrator of the fund, will be there to say a few words about the impact that Anthony and Leah felt the rescue mission was having on Springfield. And that we're very honored to have that. So we're $325,000 away from goal.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there.
We will get there.
Right there on your screen is the information. There's a QR code.
Yep.
You can scan that with your phone or tablet. That'll take you to RSVP for tickets. I know the RSVP says October 10th, but you can still go. Don't worry about that date. Just mark October 24th, 5 p.m. at the Log Cabin on your calendar. Kevin, Sabre talked about the funds that will be generated. That's just one of the fundraisers you do throughout the year. Do you earmark, so you do the motorcycle ride, you do the gala. Do you say, okay, the funds from this event are going to help X? Or is it just the funds go together and you have a plan, you and your staff, and have a plan throughout the year of these are the things we're going to target, these are the costs, and the money raised, it goes right to those programs?
Basically, it depends, because there are some things earmarked that we're shooting for with the gala. And again, that gets the word out. Like, we'll have our architect there and our builder there, so they can answer questions as well. So there are different fundraisers that we do, like the 5K. Usually that money will go towards just general expenses and things of that nature, wherever the need is. But we also go after grants and foundational monies too, to help us out with specifics. And usually those funds will come in specifically for certain things. But the fundraisers, we try to keep those, like the name, fun and entertaining. But we also like...
Right, you've got a Neil Diamond tribute coming
I know,
up.
exactly.
How much more fun can it be?
Exactly. And then again, we like people to come and hear and see where their donation goes. That's the most important, because we like to, again, get them behind it. The other thing, too, is when we do these different events, we couldn't do it without the volunteers that we have. And the volunteers always come up to me after an event and say, you don't understand how much that I was really blessed. So-and-so shared a story with me. When we do the holiday meals, we have over 25 to 35 people that go and actually deliver meals to the shut-ins. They'll come back and share, I prayed with this one about this and this person about that. And that, again, is just how the community gets behind what we're doing there. And we couldn't do it without the support of the community, really.
If folks want to volunteer, they want to help, is there a website? If they can't make
Absolutely.
it to the ball, or the gala, how can they help?
They can go to the website and just go to our various pages, just peruse the website.
Okay.
They can make a donation right there, or they can get involved by signing up through our volunteer portal, or they can call us anytime and we'll direct them to the right place.
And I know I've stated this before multiple times, and I know it's close to your heart. Even though we're at the back half of a year, everybody thinks about donating and helping, basically between October and the new year. But the need is 365 days a year.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if you can't help now, help in June, help in April, help in August. It doesn't matter.
Homelessness does not go away in July and August.
Exactly.
And people suffer in the heat almost more than they do in the cold.
It seems like there's more information during the winter. People feel it because of the holidays and whatnot, but they forget about the summer. Is just as devastating for anybody that's living on the streets.
Absolutely. I cannot thank you both enough for joining me today. Valuable information for our communities about the great work the Springfield Rescue Mission is
Thanks
doing.
for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Best of success to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.